Vinny Tortorich here. Hey man, if you're a fan of Izzy, you might be a fan of me too. I'm the guy that gets people to lose a lot of weight. I have something free for you guys. This is no clickbait. Just go to VinnyTortorich.com and there's a big banner. It's a free PDF, how to lose weight. It's an intro guide to NSNG at VinnyTortorich.com. Go check it out exclusively for anyone who listens to Izzy Presley. Thank you.
Replay Guitar Exchange is your premier independent guitar store. Being independent is good. With all of the major brands, including new, vintage, and pre-owned, you can find the guitar, bass, amp, or accessory you are dreaming of. From vintage to the newest models, Replay Guitar Exchange can help you find that perfect piece. They have industry veteran expert staff, all players like you down to the owner. You aren't just getting a great guitar, you're getting the Replay difference. Find them online at replayguitar.com and find your dream guitar today. Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level with their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's rockwoodsaloon.com.
Hi, this is Bobby Brown, and welcome to another fucking podcast.
You kids with your loud music and your Dan Fogelberg, your Zima, hula hoops, and Pac-Man video games, don't you see? People today have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds.
See, son, old legends never die. They just lose weight.
Like a legend and an outerwood bum with a lot of light.
Yes, it is party time. Hello, Hollywood. Hello, world. Hello, my loyal minions. It is good to see you, and it's always good to be seen. Happy 2019. Izzy Presley. That's right. I am here. Hope everybody had a great New Year's. I sure did. I really did, man. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. And going to replay the Richie Kotzen interview that I did in 2015. Why? Because it's my highest, biggest listened to interview ever. And why not kick off the year on a good note? And because there's been a lot of bad notes ending the year. The last couple of months were tough. I think you all know. Between the repo and blah, blah, blah. And, going through the holidays alone. And then I found out that just the other day that my cousin, second cousin, David, passed away. He's younger than me. My buddy Chad Whitman passed away that I worked with. My cousin Craig, he beat leukemia when we were young. And then he had a little bout with skin cancer. Now he's got some more cancer back. And it's just not a great way to end the year, on a personal level. But, it is what it is. You roll with the punches. You take the good with the bad. You take the good, you take the bad. And there you have the facts of life. The facts of life. But we're kicking off a new year. Excited about this year. Excited about the show growing. I will, at some point, be adding a second mic to the show. Adding a co-host. Probably be of the female nature. If I find the right one. And it's not going to be just, oh, you're hot, you should be my co-host. It'll be good. It'll be good. It doesn't have to be a chick. I wouldn't mind having a girl on the show every week. Expand the audience a little bit. But going to be looking into that. I've been threatening that for a couple of years. But that's going to happen. What else do we got going on, folks? Last night, amazing night. Faster Pussycat at the Whiskey. And partying at the Rainbow as well. Hookers and Blow played. Got to chat with Alex Grossi for a little bit. Got to chat with Dizzy Reed for a little bit from Guns N' Roses. Of course, they're in Hookers and Blow. Hung out with my buddy Ace Von Johnson and his gal. And, of course, all the Pussycat guys. Had a nice little soiree over there at the Whiskey A Go-Go. Ronnie Sweetheart from the Throbs was in the house. It was fun, man. It was a good night. It was a good time. It was a nice night out. Nice way to end the year. And there was that. Do make sure you hit up all of the social media. Of course, I'm on my quest for 1 million followers. You can hit me up on the Twitter machine, on the Instagram, and the Facebook at Real Izzy Presley. Very, very easy. Very easy to find. And, of course, the show page on Facebook is Another Effing Podcast. Click like and follow on all of those things. I know most of you do already. So do that. And, let's pass the holidays. Go click that shop button. Buy yourself some shit. Buy yourself some t-shirts and stuff. Support the cause, so to speak. Or you can just send me money. IzzyPresley@yahoo.com. I saw one of the comments on one of the shows on YouTube, because the show is posted to YouTube. There's no video. Going to be looking into that in the future as well. Would be very, very easy to do. Have video going during the show. That might help the show. I don't know. Just ideas. I want to grow the show. I want to make it bigger. I think doing the Monsters of Rock radio is going to help. Of course, I do mornings on there, Monday through Friday, 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. California time. Monsters of Rock. All you got to do is grab that Dash Radio app from your app store and then lock in that Monsters of Rock channel. And wherever you are in the world, you can hear me at 4 a.m. California time, whatever time that may be where you are. And we'll be back in the morning, 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. I am back on the Monsters of Rock airways. A lot of new cars have Dash Radio right on their dashboard console thing. You got that console thing with all the apps on it. Because God knows you need a Facebook app on your fucking car. That's what we've turned into. That's where we've went. So yeah, there's all of that. And please make sure you guys do support the sponsors. It's an honor to work with all these great people. Vinny Torrich, who will be back on the show hopefully this month. Him and Peter Pardini, who have his movie Fat coming out, which is going to open a lot of eyes and piss off a lot of vegans. It's going to be awesome. Replay Guitar Exchange. They're in Tampa Bay. I am going to be visiting them at the end of the month, the early part of February. So, yeah, beginning of February. Going to stop in there, give John Palumbo a big hug. But they have an online store, so you musicians out there, you can literally go online to Replay Guitar Exchange and get the shit you need and order it from them. Great people over there, great organization, proud to be working with them. What else do we got? Of course, beater amplification. Guys, come on. I have so many people coming over to the house now to try that beater head, and they're just blown away by it. Absolutely blown away. And I know he's working on combo amps now, too, as if you don't want a full fucking half stack. He's working on combo amps. Can't wait to get my hands on one of them. Nice little beater combo would be great. And he's working on bass gear now, too. So not just for guitar players, bass players. Check that shit out. Beater amplification. That's 2 E's. And we got vid decals. We got retro, the retro arcade up in the Minneapolis area. Sass Pants Designs. Love those guys over there. Melissa, she does a great job. That one's for you gals for the most part. Takes old school rock shirts, turned them into like tube top dresses, tank tops, shit like that. Pretty cool. She did my Ace Frehley jacket. Thank you, Mel. Love you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Merry New Year, everybody. We got Rockstar Leatherworks. Great people over there at Rockstar Leatherworks. The shit that he makes and he sends me is unbelievable. He sent me that killer Ace Frehley watch that he hand-painted. Are you kidding me? It's amazing. And, of course, the Rockwood Saloon. Fucking Rockwood Saloon. Tony does a great job. He'll take your pants, fucking rock them out. Does a lot of, like, custom leather gear, leather stuff, and T-shirts and beanies and sweatshirts and all that kind of stuff. So check all those guys out. Please support all those sponsors. And, of course, John Palumbo Design. Love me some John Palumbo. I know this whole beginning part of the show sounds like a big ad, but that's okay. That's okay. That's what the show is. The show's a big ad. It's a chance for me to grandstand and talk about the people that support me, including every one of you that listen each and every week. Scotty, Jacobus, Mark, so many of you guys that check in every week. Thank you so much to all of you, everybody, for checking in. And A&P Productions Laser Engraving Division. They can laser engrave anything. They are based out of Minnesota, but you can order online, aplasers.com. Check those guys out. So please support the sponsors. I really would appreciate it. It means a lot, when the show works for people. So there's that. Like I said, great night at the Rainbow and the Whiskey and my Brothers and Faster Pussycat. Just getting ready to kick everything back off, man. Cruise season is starting in a month. We got Cruise to the Edge going out of Tampa. Then we got the On the Blue Cruise going out of Miami. Then I'm back in L.A. for a week, and then back to Miami again for the Monsters of Rock to close out February and into March. So it's going to be a lot of traveling. But I do want to take this chance to thank... hold on. I'm gonna do something here. I need to share this show. Let's throw this into the Monsters group. MORC 2019. Include original post. Yes, I don't like that you have to click on that now on Facebook, but it is what it is. I do want to take this chance, and I know when I get on the boat, it is going to be very hard to thank everybody that helped me during the whole repo thing. I mean, people opened up their hearts and their wallets, and they just started sending me money so I can get my fucking car back. Not one of the best moments of my life. I'm not gonna lie. But I just want to give a big heartfelt thank you to every single person that helped. I didn't want the help. I didn't want to ask for the help. I mean, we talked about this in the show that was right after it, entitled "The World's Not All Rainbows and Unicorns" or whatever. It's that Rocky line. But a huge thank you to all of you. Come up to me. I don't have all the names. I know a few of you. Just come up to me and let me give you a hug and say thank you when we get on the boat. That would mean a lot to me. So yeah. So there's that. Thank you, everybody. I'm humbled. But we will be doing, speaking of the boat, I did this last year, and I happen to have one more of the roadie packs left. And if you don't know what the roadie packs are, it is a little thing that A&P Productions Laser Engraving made for me that I sold. I sold a few of them. And I auctioned one off last year before the Monsters of Rock cruise. And Casey Powell won that thing. And it's a flask with another effing podcast logo on it. And then we got a Zippo type lighter and a dog tag and a flashlight, a little LED flashlight. And what I did was I auctioned it off. I put it up on eBay. And if somebody from the cruise won, which Casey did, Casey took Casey out to out for food. Why in the hell? Siri just popped up and was talking to me. That's fucking weird. That's creepy. So Casey Powell won that last year. Going to be doing that again this year because I do have one more roadie pack left. Last year it went for like $100. Unfortunately, because of timing, the dinner I bought Casey was at the free buffet on the boat. But this year I'm going to do my best where somebody from the cruise wins it, which I'm assuming somebody from the cruise will. We'll go out and have dinner and drinks when we get off the boat at one of the ports. So there's that. That's what we're gonna do. But yeah. So anyways, yeah, a lot of great things coming up for the show this year, and for me personally, I have a feeling that this is gonna be the year of the is, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready to have some fun. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a short break. This has not been a long segment, 15 minutes or so, but going to keep this one short and sweet. Going to take a short little break and come back, and we will play the Richie Kotzen interview from 2015 when the last Winery Dogs record came out. And to this day, to this point, it has been my number one. Bruce, how you doing, man? Greetings. Thanks for stopping by. Merry New Year. Merry New Year. So the last Kotzen interview, I've posted it twice. The very first time, over 8,000 listens. The second time, we had about 500, which is still really good. So we're going to do this one more time as a thank you to you guys. And it's fitting because Richie will be on the boat this year. And then after the cruise, the Winery Dogs are returning for a short tour. I actually tried to get Ack on one of those dates, but didn't work out because I guess there's no local support on their shows, which is fine. But it would have been cool to open up for them on my home turf at First Avenue. I tried to make that happen. It didn't happen. So in honor of the Winery Dogs returning, in honor of Richie Kotzen, who we all know I am a geek for, I'm proud to call him a friend. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back, and we're going to play this Richie Kotzen interview. Now, keep in mind, this is not live. I mean, this is playing it for you live, but this is not live. The interview is not live. It's from 2015. We talk a lot about, talk about the new Winery Dogs record when that came out. Hot Streak is what it was called. We talk about cheesesteaks because he's a Philly guy. We talk about Poison. We talk about a lot of stuff, man. Richie's an interesting cat, and I really enjoy talking to him when we're out and about, when we run into each other. So, going to take a short little break. I'm going to turn my microphone off, and I'll be right back. Oh, wait, yeah. And we'll be right back with Richie Kotzen right here. A replay. He is not live, ladies and gentlemen. He is not live. Replay from 2015 of Richie Kotzen. Another effing podcast. I cannot wait. I hope I can get him back, man. He sounds like he wants to come on at some point. I know he's not a fan of it, doing podcasts, but we'll see what happens. Oh, Mark, welcome. Of course you got tickets for the Winery Dogs in Illinois. Secord sucks. So anyways, I'm going to shut my mic off. Here is a couple ads. We already did all the live reads. Come right back with Richie Kotzen from 2015. RockstarLeatherworks.com is your home for badass rock and roll gear. Featuring 100% handmade leather bands, watches, cuffs, bracelets, and more, Rockstar Leatherworks has something for everybody. Whether you are going to the show or you are in it, you can find something to fit your needs. Choose from a variety of designs or create your own masterpiece. Their bands and watches are second to none. They also ship internationally. Who needs a stage to be a rock star? Check out RockstarLeatherworks.com.
Retro Arcade brings Minnesota and surrounding areas arcade games from the days gone by. All of those great games from pizza joints and arcades are available in cocktail units and custom machines. Dozens of favorites from your youth in one machine to complete your game room or man cave. Retro Arcade also sells and services your favorite pinball machines. Find them at facebook.com/80arcade. That's facebook.com/80arcade. Retro Arcade. Your youth is just one click away.
If you need to promote your band or business, or just want to stylize, personalize, or customize your ride, check out vid-decals.com. Want to create and customize your own stickers representing your band, or make your own bumper sticker? Vid Decals can do it. All stickers are printed on quality vinyl and can be placed on any flat surface. Stickers are an affordable way to promote your band or business. Go to vid-decals.com to get started. That's vid-decals.com. vid-decals.com.
Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level with their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's rockwoodsaloon.com.
Hey, what's going on? This is Tom Arnold. I like fat women and cocaine. And you're listening to Izzy Presley here on another fucking podcast. And I know Izzy from Cocaine Anonymous meetings. I've actually seen him at the meetings with Ace Von Johnson from, I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but Ace has got a bad coke problem. And his sponsor is Josh Todd from, and again, I shouldn't say this out loud, but Josh is his sponsor for Buck Cherry. He's addicted to upskirt porn. And they're both being sponsored by the Eagles. The whole band, the Eagles. Anyways, another fucking podcast right here with Izzy Presley, and call your sponsor.
The new record called Hot Streak comes out in October. The first one was like straight ahead, balls out rock and roll, and you guys kind of, you got that on this record too, but you kind of went a little different ways. You got some stuff that kind of sounds like the Eagles. You kind of got some Concrete Blondie kind of stuff. You got something that sounds like it's off of some like Rod Stewart 70s disco stuff, but a lot of balls out rock and roll too, man.
Well, I think it's a deeper record stylistically, not to discredit the first record because it did really well and resonated with a lot of people, but for me, I think I dug a little deeper lyrically on this record, and I also think I made some interesting production choices once I got the drum and bass files as far as what I did with the guitars and the keyboards, and even the vocals. I did some kind of interesting layering. So, the record does have a broader stylistic scope, but I think that's a good thing. I mean, I certainly didn't want to go in and make the same record again because there's no reason to do that. That record already exists. So I feel like as a band, I think we outdid ourselves. I'm curious to see how our existing fan base responds to it.
Yeah, I think it should be pretty positive. I mean, like I said, it's like you still have that balls out rock and roll, but you kind of stylistically, that's the word. Stylistically, that's how you say it. Just kind of went out a little bit, and which is great. It's like that song that sounds like the Eagles. Is that what's that called? Spirit?
No.
Wrong one. Hold on. Fire.
Yeah. That's the interesting thing with that song. It almost didn't survive, but we actually tracked that. When we tracked the drums and bass for that, the song was called Last Chance. I had a whole other set of lyrics for it that I wasn't really in love with. And so I took the drum and bass files back to my studio where I work out of, and I started messing around, and I thought, this has to go in a different direction. So I took an acoustic guitar and just laid like a basic bed track. And then I realized that the piano needed to really walk the dog on this song. So I got an interesting piano sound, just one microphone, a mono U87. And I came up with a piano part that's fairly orchestrated for the song. It's in mono, which is interesting because nowadays people usually don't record in mono. But once I had that piano down, I started having all kinds of ideas, production-wise, but also lyrically. And so the song went in a whole other direction that I really love. It's one of my favorite songs on the record. My top three is probably Hot Streak, Ghost Town, and Fire.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. When you guys write, I mean, are you guys in the same room writing, or are you like swapping ideas via the internet, or how does that work with you guys?
Well, the way it works is that we get together in a room, which is my garage in my house, and we sit in there for about 5 days. That's what we did this time, at least. And we throw riffs around and ideas and drum beats and that sort of thing. So what ends up happening by the end of this 5 days, we have several what I call skeletons, skeletons of songs where you have a riff and then a chord progression and then another riff and then a chord progression. Oh, that sounds like a chorus. Let's do that again. And all right, now do a solo section. So it's kind of, I don't want to say thrown together, but there's definitely like a thrown together element of it. And once we have those skeletons, then I live with them for, this time I lived with them for a couple of months. It was probably 2 months before I did anything. And after about 2 months, I started getting some ideas and lyrical ideas, melody ideas. And so I would make little demo notes. I'd go in and do a guide vocal, just a rough, for the idea. I start sending them off to the guys via email. And then once we got to a point where we felt like we were on the right track, we booked studio time. They went in, cut their basic tracks, bass and drums. And I took the files to my studio where I work. And then I do what I do. I go in there and I start figuring out how to deal with it song by song. Some songs require a lot of work because they need to be orchestrated and treated differently, and then other songs are quite simple and it's obvious what to do. And that process takes me about a month and a half till I'm done. And then once again, the guys hear it. If there's something they like, something they don't like, we address it. And then it goes to the guy to mix, and we're done. So, I mean, the process started in January. I think we got together in January, and now here we are. The record's going to be out next month.
And it sounds great. How much, compared to like the first record, when you guys did that first record, was there a lot of those songs where you had some of those like ideas already, like maybe for your solo stuff that you brought in?
Beyond ideas, I mean, I brought finished songs in. I mean, I'm No Angel, Damaged, Elevate. They were all recorded. Elevate was actually a little different because I had a verse from another song and then that Elevate chorus, and so we did some kind of Frankenstein things with what I had written. But there's at least 5 songs on that first record that came off my hard drive, and then the rest of the record was written in the way that I just described. This time, I just decided in my own mind that I didn't want to be bringing in my songs. I felt like if I'm sitting in my hotel room and I write a song, then that's my song. I'll put it on my record and be done with it. I wanted this record to really be, to really kind of come from the three of us, at least from the initial foundation. And it really worked well, actually, by doing that. I found like a new kind of inspiration through doing that. Billy came in with a lot of ideas, and I don't even think he knew he had all these ideas, because when we did Hot Streak, he was playing that lick, and in his mind, it was an exercise. He said, this is an exercise that I do to warm up. And I'm like, well, to me, that sounds like a pretty badass lick that could be part of a song. So we started jamming on it and moved some things around and came up with a B section, and before you know it, we had a really cool song. And that happened with a bunch of things. We had a bunch of bass riffs that we just kind of worked off of. Ghost Town, that very beginning, boom, bam, dun, 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 that was something he was just messing around with, and we turned it into a song. So it was really fun this time to get in the room and collaborate on that level. And then it becomes kind of like a game for me. It's like, okay, now I got all this instrumental music. I got to turn this stuff into something that people can sing along to.
Right.
And I need words and melodies and the whole bit. So that's the most time-consuming thing, because I don't want to be writing and singing a bunch of nonsense. If I'm going to sing something, it really needs to make sense to me.
Right, absolutely. And there's nothing worse than going up and playing a song that nobody can follow along with,
Yeah.
Do you guys despise the phrase supergroup?
It doesn't affect me one way or another. It doesn't mean anything to me. I'm fine with whatever they want to call it, as long as it's as long as they're being nice about it.
Right.
The reality is that we're three guys that have been around for a long time. We're not teenagers that just kind of moved out to LA together and lived in a warehouse and tried to make it. We've all done stuff. Our attitude when this started was, let's get in a room and see if we get along and see if we can come up with some cool ideas.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't say, hey, we're going to take over the world, man.
Right.
None of that. It was pretty innocent, and so here we are now on our second record, and we enjoy working together. The reality is this: we don't have to do this. I personally don't need to be in a band. I haven't been in a band since 2002. Mm-hmm. And before that, it was another 10 years before I was in a band. So I love doing what I do. I'm a solo artist. That's who I am. I will always be that. It's what I enjoy. Mm. Oh, wow, someone's at my front door. But we're on the podcast. But the reality is that we do this because we love it. And as long as we love it, as long as there's a base and people that respond favorably, we're going to keep doing it. So that's my story.
Something that I've noticed watching you play and, listening to the records and, and especially watching you play live, you have a lot of Prince in you. Were you a Prince guy growing up?
I love Prince. I think he's a real artist. I think when you think of artists, I think that should be mandatory that you can play at least two instruments, write your own songs, sing your own songs, and then be able to get on stage and do it live and do it well. And that just seems like such a simple thing, a simple requirement to be a recording artist. And yet there are so many people that are huge recording artists that can't even sing.
Right.
And somehow they're playing stadiums. It's really bizarre. It's a bizarre thing. I try not to think about it too much, because if I really start to think about it, it can make me not want to be a part of it. It can make me think, well, you know what? I don't really even want to bother doing this. Put the guitar down. Let me get into construction. Something else is creative that I love to do. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of people that influence me, and it's people like Prince that I think are real artists. I love Sly and the Family Stone. I definitely have more of an R&B thing about what I do. I grew up outside of Philadelphia, so right. I was exposed to the Spinners and OJs and Teddy Pendergrass and all those kind of that Philly sounds. It's what I heard on the radio. So even though I'm a rock kid, I have that in me. Daryl Hall grew up 8 miles down the road. He was already famous by the time I was a kid, but right. Still, that's the scene. That's what was going on. So I connect with that, and I just love soul music. The original soul music, old school soul.
Oh, it's amazing. It's fucking great. Yeah, you grew up outside of Philly. I've been curious about this. What's your favorite Philly cheesesteak place in Los Angeles?
In Los Angeles? There's a place out in North Hollywood, and, I've actually never been in the place, mm-hmm. and I don't know what it's called, but my buddy always shows up. We have barbecues, and my buddy shows up with sandwiches from this place, and they're pretty good, but I'll tell you something. The reality is what makes the difference is the bread.
That's what I've heard.
It's really the bread. Somehow the bread on the East Coast, like specifically Philadelphia and New York, when you eat like an Italian sandwich or a hoagie, whatever you call it, we call them Italian sandwiches, but they just taste radically different back there than they do here. And I really think it's...
Hello? Richie? Uh-oh.
Somehow we got cut off. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I get see now what I've been told is the difference is the water.
Say that again. The water.
The water, yeah, the water that they use back east. That's kind of like part of that flavor.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I've heard that exact same thing. So yeah, it's not the first time I heard that. That must be true.
Right. So it'll never be the same. But the closest we can get out here, I guess that works. Now you have a live DVD coming out also.
I do, and thank you for bringing it up. I'm very excited about it because it's the first live DVD that has been done on me that's like really, really done right. Well, actually, it's the only one, to be honest. I mean, I had the bootleg in Brazil, which was a great show that we captured, and it sounds great, but we weren't using really nice cameras, and my friend did me a favor and edited it on his laptop. So that was why that's like bootleg in Brazil. It makes sense to call it that. But this thing was done in a way that was way more professional. We had real cameras. They did a great job with the audio. And the band, we had a good night, because that's the other thing that you need. You just can't go off and make a DVD. You got to play well, and right. Sometimes you just don't. And so everything aligned on this one. I'm really proud of it, and I can't wait to get it out there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got a killer solo band, too, with Mike Bennett and bass player guy with the beard. He has a beard.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I mean, those guys.
I'm horrible
those
names.
Guys are, Dylan Wilson and Mike Bennett, those guys are so great. And I'll tell you something about them. They grew up playing jazz together, so they they are so connected. They're like one person. And the thing that makes it so special is when we improvise, when we do my solo sections, it's like they make me sound better than I am. I mean, it's just they have my back. They listen. If I do something, they'll play off of me to compliment me. And the other thing that's crazy, I don't know how it is, but cues, So many guys that I play with, you can't cue them. They miss cues. Mm. And these guys, like, literally are so in tune with their ears with what I'm doing that I can glance and make a gesture with my eye, and they know, okay, we're going to end it, or we're going to go somewhere else, or I should break it down. I mean, it's unbelievable. But that actually also, I think, stems from a couple of things. It stems from us playing together for a long time and having done a lot of shows. I mean, we've been everywhere from China to Thailand, Japan, South America, multiple times, all over Europe. So there's that. And then I also really think there's that jazz element, because that's what jazz is. You have to listen, and create space. And they're just fantastic guys. I wish more people knew about them. But then again, maybe I don't, because I'll lose my band. They're great.
I think with the last couple of years on the Monsters cruises, and now you guys are going to be on Def Leppard coming up, I think the word's going to get out.
Oh, I'm going to lose them. I'm going to lose my guys.
Yeah, you guys are added to the Def Leppard cruise. We're going to be on there.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
I mean, you got to be excited about that.
I am. It's funny, when I did the first cruise, they had, I was kicking and screaming. I don't want to do it. I was afraid. I don't want to go in the water and this and that on the boat. And then I did it, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. The moment for me, believe it or not, that made me want to sign on again was when we got off and went to that island. Right. And it was such a beautiful day and so great. I love the beach. I love the ocean and swimming in the ocean. I just love it. So that was like the perfect place to go and hang out. So I'm looking forward to going back again.
Yeah, I can't wait either. It's like the thing I look forward to most every year, and now we're on 6 of them next year. So we have a lot to do. Wow. Yeah, it's going to be great. Now I think at the last time I saw you at the Jam, I think you looked at me and you said I cheated. I used a pick on this record.
It's 50-50. I did. I used both. And, it's kind of obvious. You can hear it. You can hear it. On the song Fire, I'm using a pick. You can hear it. You can hear it striking the strings.
Right.
And then other songs, other solos, you can tell that I'm using my fingers. If you listen to Empire, clearly I'm using my fingers there. So, but I don't have to commit. I can do whatever I want. It depends on the sound I want out of the instrument. And that's the idea, isn't it? I mean, you're expressing yourself. if I want an aggressive, heavy sound, then I can pick the guitar pickup. And if I want to feel more connected and something a little more with a different tonal element, I use my fingers. It's not a big deal. I think it becomes a big deal when people come to the concert and they don't really know much about you. I'm talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
And then they see, oh, wow, he's not using a pick, and then it becomes a thing. But you
Right.
forget, like, there's a lot of guys that do that. I'm not the only guy.
Well,
and it's
go
the
ahead.
sound.
Yeah, but it was the thing that boggled my mind when the first time I saw you guys was at Vamped in Vegas 2 years ago or something like that. And I'm watching you play. I'm like, how's he getting that tone with no fucking pick? It was driving me crazy, you know. But it sounds fucking great.
Awesome.
I was gonna go somewhere else too. Oh yeah. You were with Poison for a very short time, and we're not going to get into what happened. That doesn't fucking matter. That story's been told. What did you learn from that short run with Poison?
I gotta say, I have nothing but great memories from that time, and I think to this day, when I think about it, I think we made an amazing record. You know, I went from being on Shrapnel Records with my little fan base that followed me, and I say little not in a derogatory way, but it literally was a small group of people that knew who I was. And suddenly I joined a band where, you know, more people knew who I was. However, I joined a band that really opened the creative door for me to do whatever the hell I wanted. I mean, that Native Tongue record could have easily been my solo record.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, they'd let me do whatever I wanted. And the only difference is that, you know, I co-wrote the lyrics with Bret Michaels,
right,
and he was the lead singer. But, I mean, they couldn't have treated me better on a creative level during that process. You know, I was coming from Shrapnel Records where if we spent $20,000 on a record, we were in big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And our budget for the Poison record was $2.5 million back in 1991. So it was a whole different world that I was thrown into. But I was ready for it, and I think we made an amazing record. Where it got really kind of hard, and suddenly it was like a wake-up call, and I realized, oh, this is not your band, dude, was when we got on the road, and suddenly we're only playing 2 songs from the new record, 3 songs,
mm-hmm,
and I'm up there playing songs that, not that they're bad, because they're good songs, and people like those songs, and they sold a lot of records, but it just didn't connect with me. I'm like playing, you know, they had a song called Ride the Wind, and I can remember playing this thinking, I have no emotional connection to this whatsoever. I could be reading a book right now. You know, I'm not here. I'm not present. I'm not enjoying this. And then obviously, you know, things happened and I moved on. But the process of making the record, doing the press, doing the videos, everything up until the point where we got on the road was fantastic.
I did see that tour. And it was...
You did?
I did see that tour up in Minneapolis. It was fucking great. It was fucking
cool.
great. Did you ever... I mean, a long time has passed. Did you ever reconcile? Is it all water under the bridge now?
I saw Bret since then. He hugged me and said he loved me, and you know, congratulated me on how well I'm doing. I've seen Bobby multiple times. I saw Ricky once and shook his hand and said hello. So everything's completely fine. Whatever happened back then, I will tell you the truth of the matter is that it was really sensationalized. It wasn't nearly as insane as what was put in the press.
Okay.
But, you know, they needed a story because the tour was bombing and the band was really, you know, going into oblivion, so to speak.
Okay.
And so, you know, they needed a story. But in the end, we're all on good terms.
Oh, that's good, man. That's great to hear. Just one more before you, and I'll let you go and get back to your business. You guys are, you know, Winery Dogs are going on tour. I had Doug Pinnick in studio here a few weeks back, and he had said something about possibly a KXM Winery Dogs tour. Is that something that might happen in the future?
We talk about all kinds of things, and that would be fantastic. You know, it just really depends on schedules and all that sort of thing. You know, this time out, we've got a band called Kicking Harold that is a band that had some success in the 90s at radio, and they're a very cool band. They got kind of a retro alternative thing happening, and it's a power trio as well. So Kicking Harold will be out opening the entire tour, at least on this U.S. run. So we're really excited about it. And starting in October. October 3rd is the first show. So, let's see what happens. I think we made a really cool record. I think we outdid ourselves, and hopefully that resonates with the people.
I hope so, too. And you're skipping Minneapolis again. I have a lot of friends back home that are pissed that you guys are not going to Minnesota.
And I was there with my solo band last year, and we had a great time. So, I think what happens is we route these tours. We don't pick where we play.
Right.
We have to go with the flow and where the offers are and the routing, and there's so many things that come into consideration, availability of the clubs or the theaters in this case. But, we're going to do another run, so hopefully we can make up the spots that we missed on this one.
All right, man. Richie Kotzen, the Winery Dog's brand new record is called Hot Streak. Comes out October 2nd. People want to find you on social media. How can they find you?
Well, RichieKotzen.com is a good starting point. From there, I'm linked to Twitter and my Facebook. I got this thing I'm using called Periscope. It's pretty cool.
You can see him half naked on there, drinking with his friends.
Anytime something happens, I tweet it. I put it on Twitter. It'll show up on my Facebook fan site. Make sure you go to the Richie Kotzen, my band site, because the personal one, I don't use it. Don't bother sending me a friend request. I don't even look in there. So it's the fan site. That's where all the action is.
Cool.
I see everything that goes on there. So that's it.
All right, man. And please just don't keep getting naked on Periscope. I don't need to see that.
You like that? I thought you might have liked that.
Nah, dude,
I'm on here in my house.
I'm like driving, and then all of a sudden, Richie Kotzen on Periscope. Oh, he's getting half naked. I can stop watching this now.
And I don't know. This Periscope is gonna be the ruination of me. It's gonna ruin my career.
I was watching the night I was back in Minnesota a couple weeks ago, and I was bored, and I'm watching, and you were having a party, and fucking Howie Simon is running the tunes, and he like kept changing fucking songs, and I was getting pissed.
Oh yeah, he's like that. He's a control freak, that guy.
Yeah, absolutely, Richie, dude. Thank you so much for doing this. When you get back into town, I would love to have you in studio with your solo band, and we'll have a Jack Daniels infused drunken podcast.
Let's do it. I'm down. You let me know when.
All right, man. Take care.
There you go. That was Richie Kotzen from 2015 when the brand new winery, the last Winery Dogs record came out. And, of course, the Winery Dogs going on tour this spring after Richie does the Monsters of Rock cruise. This part is live again. I am live again right now. And I have breaking news, sad news. And this actually isn't even a bit. I just posted this. And this gal was my first crush. She was my first boner. And this report comes from Yahoo in Australia, the lifestyle page. Posted about 20 minutes ago. Olivia Newton-John is clinging to life. New report claims that the 70-year-old's health is rapidly deteriorated. She has just been diagnosed with cancer for the third time, but she is clinging to life so she can go see her daughter, Chloe Latanzi, get married in 2019. Unfortunately, that is not to me. Olivia's bodily functions appear to be shutting down, but she refuses to let go until she makes it through Chloe's wedding day. A source allegedly told Radar Online. The publication reports the Grease star would like to be at her Santa Barbara home with her husband John Easterling ahead of Chloe's apparent wedding to James Driscoll. I refuse to die in a hospital room. I'll go out on my own terms, in my home, in my own bed, but not until Chloe says I do, Olivia reportedly told a friend. Yahoo Lifestyle has contacted Olivia's representatives for comment. Back in 2018, the star told Saturday Night that she had decided to treat this cancer with modern medicines and natural remedies, as well as cutting out sugar completely and taking cannabis oil for the pain. She said the treatment was going really well and optimistic for the future. And there's a picture of Olivia and her daughter. I wish I was marrying her. Speaking about the cannabis oil, Olivia said she's lucky. She lives in California, a state where it's legal now to grow a certain amount of cannabis for medical purposes. Blah, blah, blah. Dream is that Australia soon will be available to all cancer patients. People going through cancer causes pain. While the star put on a brave face during the interview, she revealed she does have her moments of despair, but wouldn't be having them in front of a camera. Strong woman, that Olivia Newton-John. My dream that Australia, soon I already talked about that. Moments of human, allow myself to go there, would especially create that, would easily create that, big fear. Her third cancer diagnosis comes after she was first treated for the disease back in 1992, finding a lump on her right breast. So, yeah, man. This article is up on my personal my personal Facebook page, and Olivia Newton-John clinging to life, man. It's so sad, so sad. It's weird how people you never met can influence your life, and then when it affects you when they die. But sad days. We're getting old, people. We're getting really old. This tells you how old we're getting. I just realized this. January 17th, 1999 was 20 years ago. Why is that date a red letter date? Well, in my mind, that date is the second worst date in sports history as a Minnesota sports fan. And, yeah, Bruce, she absolutely is a warrior. She did define a generation. January 17th, 1999, 20 years ago, the day Gary Anderson missed the field goal and the Vikings lost to the Atlanta Falcons in the Metrodome, ending their chance to go to the Super Bowl for that 15-1 season, Randy Moss's rookie year. That was 20 years ago. 20 years ago. It does not feel like 20 years ago. It feels like last week. It feels like 20 years ago. We're old, people. All right, I gotta go. Thank you guys for checking out this special New Year's edition. Bruce, Mark, everybody else that chimed in or listened in live, and everybody that downloaded after the fact. Once again, a big thank you to all of the cruisers who helped me out during my time of need. Please find me on the boat at the pre-parties and let me give you a hug, because I won't be able to remember everybody because so many people reached out. So thank you, everybody. Once again, shout out to my cousin David, who passed away just the other day, and Chad Whitman. Worked with him at Saturn, just passed away. And my cousin Craig, fighting cancer again. So thoughts are with all you guys. Thoughts are with my family. I love you. Let's hit the outro music. Take it, Kiss. See you guys next week. Working on some great stuff for this month. And then I'll be off for a month because I'll be on the boat. 2 cruises, 3 cruises. We'll figure it all out. Please make sure you do support all the sponsors. Thank you guys again for all of your continued support. Thank you to, pardon me. Thank you to all of the advertisers. And we'll be back next week. I don't know who's going to be on the show. But Bruce, see you soon. Thank you again. Bruce and Mark for chiming in. I know, it was like an impromptu thing. It's like, fuck it, let's do this live. So we'll see everybody next week. Support all the sponsors, and I'll be live on the Monsters of Rock on the Dash Radio Network, 4 a.m. California time tomorrow. Download that app or listen live at dashradio.com/Monsters of Rock. Or if you're like fancy and have a new type car, it's probably a good chance that Dash app is on your dashboard. See you guys next week. Don't forget, what I lack in talent, I do make up for in cock. I do, in fact, love you all. It's another fucking podcast. Here's to another great year.